Alright, so this has been a long waited video review of the shifter. So this is the CorkSport short shifter. So you watch my videos, you know, I before this CorkSport shifter, I had a Craven Speed shifter, and the Craven Speed shifter reduces the throw of the shifter by 30%. The CorkSport reduces it, I think they say 14% or 15%, something like that. Basically about half of the CorkSport. Half of the Craven Speed. So why did I switch from the CorkSport to the Craven Speed? I felt like the Craven Speed was too much. It had, it was like too short. The stock shifter on the ND, it's pretty short already. It's, for the most part, I would say it's probably fine. But it is mostly all plastic. There's the metal spring and a few metal things here and there that are metal, but most of it's plastic. So it's very smooth, right? On the stock shifter, it's very smooth, and it's relatively quiet. It doesn't feel notchy at all. As you go with shorter throw shifters, it feels more notchy, and that's what I like about them. But at the same time, I don't. When it's like too notchy, it feels kind of rough feeling. So that's what I think. I think the Craven Speed is. It's it's a little bit too notchy, a little rough feeling. And how the short shifter works is that where the ball down here is, it pivots on that ball, and the bottom half connects to the transmission. And how it works is the shifter itself up here, it becomes shorter, and the part where it connects to the transmission, it becomes longer. So basically, you're changing that fulcrum point. The ball is the fulcrum point. So that way, the top lever versus the bottom lever. So the top lever travels shorter, and the bottom lever travels further. Covers more distance, and this one covers less distance. So that's how it works, right? So that's all that is. It's just that wherever that lever is, let's say this is that lever, we adjust that fulcrum point down or up, right? So with the Craven Speed, it's that fulcrum point it's higher up, so it's much shorter. The thing that does is that because the bottom is longer, basically you have less leverage. Right? Even though the distance is shorter up here, you have less leverage, so it requires more effort to shift. You have to give more effort to shift. So you have to push a little bit harder. So when you have to use more effort, especially if you're using a lightweight shift knob, it's really hard. Shifting, starts to become harder. Requires more effort. So you have to use a heavier knob to negate that effect, because the heavier knob, when you're moving a heavier knob, it has more mass, more momentum, basically, more inertia. So that inertia will help overcome that stiffer feeling, that less leverage, basically, stiffer feeling shifting. So there's that thing to do. That's one thing that you would. Some people might not like, might not like, and the other thing is just the way it feels. It just feels more notchy and such, not as smooth. So that's what I like about this CorkSport one, is that it's only what 14-15% shorter. It makes it you still have the notchiness, but it's not that notchy. It's just a little bit, and so it's just enough that you feel more mechanical. It feels more mechanical. The leverage where the fulcrum is, the leverage is a little down further, so that way you still have more leverage, so it requires less effort, and you could get away with a lighter shift ball, a shifter knob. And I have, you see my videos, that I've gone through like half a dozen shifter knobs, from lighter than stock to double, even more than double the weight of stock, like almost triple the weight of stock, and various things. And this shift knob right here is, God, now I can't remember what weight this was, but this shift knob, I think the stock shift knob is around 300 grams. This shift knob, if I can remember correctly, it's about a pound. It's like 450 grams or so. So it's a little bit, definitely heavier than the stock one. I think it was about 450. But anyways, whatever it is, it's heavier than the stock one, about at least 100 grams. And I like it because the shape of it, it's not quite an oval. Well, it is kind of oval, but it's not quite a teardrop shape. It's a shape. The shape is more like an egg. If you look at an egg, the egg has an oval shape, and one end of it is a little bit wider, and the other end is a little bit more tapered in. So that's what this one has. The top here is a little bit bigger and wider, and when you go towards the bottom, it tapers down a little bit, but it still has a somewhat of an oval shape to it. So unlike a teardrop where the top is like really wide, then it tapers down a lot towards the bottom, so it narrows down a lot. This one, the sides right here are still not quite parallel, but closer to being parallel than the conventional teardrop, where it's just like an angle like that. This one is more like it's kind of like that a little bit. So it fits really nicely in the palm of my hand. Even the top here is not so bad either. But anyways, so back to how the shifter goes. So the stock one is pretty short already. And I think the CorkSport makes it perfect. The craving speed with 30% is just too much. I think there's another brand that just came out. I can't remember what it's called now. I think it's like called JZ or JR or something like that. And theirs is, I believe, 25% or so, somewhere around there. So a little bit less than the craving speed, but I still think that's too much. This 15%, 14-15% is perfect. So it gives you a little bit shorter, but it's not so hard feeling where when you're shifting one to the next, it's not too hard. One of the things that I want to keep was the balance of everything. The Miata, the reason why it feels so good as a car is that it's like everything is balanced. And when I'm talking about balance, I'm not just talking about front to wheel ratio, weight balance, but I'm talking about like how the steering wheel feels when you're steering, how the steering wheel feels, and the pedals, the clutch, brakes, and the gas pedal. If you step on all of them, they feel very similar. And like as far as like how much effort you have. Same with the steering wheel. And the shifter, they all have kind of like a certain feel to them that has a certain effort into them. So when I got the shorter shifter, and that again, you watch my videos, that I have a slightly smaller diameter steering wheel as well. So all these different things as far as the ergonomics of it and the personal interaction between me and the car. I wanted to have a certain feel, and I want all that feel to be as balanced as possible. And this shifter, with the setup right now that I have with my steering wheel and everything, it feels balanced. So that's probably the most important thing. So when I had the craving speed shifter, it felt really unbalanced. I mean, it was a big one thing that kind of like totally off of everything else, as far as it requiring how much effort, and how much effort you need to put to shift. That was like totally off balance compared to everything else. So I didn't like that. So I wanted something that was like pretty much balanced. Now if you left everything stock, if you leave everything stock for the most part, it's pretty balanced. But I didn't like the stock steering wheel, so that's why I got the thicker steering wheel. So it felt better in my hand, and I also got a little bit smaller as well. So when I did that, it kind of made the steering wheel a little bit firmer. But also I got wider tires. When you get wider tires, it also makes your steering feel firmer as well. So in that regards, then also the stock shifter felt a little bit too soft, and the steering felt firmer, and it threw it off balance. And also putting this on, it took a little bit more effort to shift now, and that made it more in balance with the steering wheel. So that's it right there. And I'm trying to get this car to be a little bit more sportier, less soft, basically. Because from the factory, this car comes very soft, even though it's very well balanced. almost, I would say, almost perfectly balanced stock, but it's a little bit on the soft side as far as how the whole car feels, from how it drives to the suspension to how the steering wheel is, how the shifter is, and everything. So I'm trying to get it a little bit more sportier that way. So, and the shifter does it for me. And along with the shift knob too, this shift knob is pretty much perfect. The only thing I need to do with this now is wrap it in leather, because I don't like this metal feel. The metal feel, it's especially wintertime. It's like, it's just time, like when you first get into the car in the wintertime, it's freaking cold. You gotta drive for like, I don't know, 20 minutes or something like that, with your hand on it, or whatever, for it to warm up. Then it feels okay. Or summertime when it's really hot, this thing gets kind of a little warm too. Gets your hand kind of sweaty. So I'd rather have leather, just like the steering wheel here. It's leather. So that really is the best feel. I like the feel of leather more than the that synthetic leather that came out. What is it called? Alcantara, something like that. I felt that, and I felt pretty close to leather. Even though it's not real leather, it feels very close to leather, but it's still not quite the same as real leather. That's why I prefer real leather. So that's the shifter. My CorkSport shifter. So I think it's probably the best option if you want a little bit shorter, but still not require like too much effort, too much work into it. Not having it too notchy. That notchiness, with the Craven speed, because it was so notchy, it just wasn't a smooth shift. As you shift around, it wasn't as smooth. And the Miata has a very smooth shifter. Not quite as smooth as Honda's manual shifters, I would say. I think Honda has probably the smoothest shifters around, but the Miata is probably right underneath the Honda as far as how smooth the shifter is. But if you get too short of a throw, it makes it real notchy, and it just throws it off. Let's see. Yeah, so that's it. That's for the that's my review of my of the CorkSport shifter. I guess I also talked about the knob as well, but the knob is personal preference as far as the shape. Everyone likes a different shape, but as far as weight goes for this shifter, stock shifter, the stock knob is about 300 grams. This one is I think at least 400 grams, if not 450 grams. And if you get a Craven's speed shifter, you probably want at least a 500 gram, if not a 550 gram, or maybe even a 600 gram. I would say above 500 gram, basically. Probably more though. More might be better. Probably more like 550 or 600. Whereas this one, 400, 450 is good for the shifter. Yeah, that's it. So thanks for watching.